Democratic gubernatorial candidates squared off in debate in New Haven, the city that hosts a whopping 81 delegates for the taking during the campaign. Some hot-button issues included proposals to close the educational achievement gap between whites and minorities, and specifically how much money will be pledged to education.
We need leadership from a governor making educational reform a priority and leading that drive. We need a governor who's going to make sure that cities have the resources necessary to turn their educational structures around. We need a governor who's going to recognize that we need summer job programs, mentoring programs, and other programs to keep young people from turning to a life of crime.
And speaking of crime, the panel debated whether they would support a Ban the Box campaign, legislation that eliminates questions about past convictions on job applications.
If it's for petty type of drug things and things like that, clearly we need to reform the system. Let me qualify that. I think when you're dealing with daycare centers, school bus drivers, child care providers, and school teachers, we definitely have to know if the person has been convicted of any type of a sexual deviancy.
1 out of 33 people in the state of Connecticut is in prison. $44,000 a year we spend for prisoner.
The population of the state of Connecticut has been relatively flat for the last generation or so, and the number of folks in prison is more than tripled. And we are sending an awful lot of folks early to prison, and they get tarnished and they don't often get a second chance.
And what about a first chance? All 6 candidates supported New Haven's open-door immigration policy over Danbury's, where the mayor deputized local police as immigration officers in 2005.
Our economies would not be able to do what they do now or even excel as we want them to unless the immigrant population is there, as they have been, doing a lot of the jobs that many times other people don't want to do. We should not be penalizing people who come here to work or are part of this economy because they happen to be Garcia, Gonzalez, or Rodriguez.
And in terms of the economy, Simsbury First Selectwoman Mary Glassman proposed a program that would help local graduates get job opportunities.
Look at the wonderful institutions we have in our state: UConn, Yale, Quinnipiac, all of them right in your own backyard. We need to create a program where the graduates of those institutions are linked with the job creation areas, and so they stay in Connecticut.
And Ridgefield First Selectman Rudy Marconi wagered that adding toll booths to the state would generate $1 billion a year in much needed revenue.
Public transportation needs help, and it needs help today. We need to put tolls in, not next year, not 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We need them today because we need the revenue stream.
The candidates all agreed that imposing a local sales tax in each of our cities and towns could help more cash flow into the state, and Marconi took this proposal a step farther.
Also on the internet sales tax, we need to begin collecting that money, which not only will help generate additional revenues for us, but it will also bring people back in, stop them from shopping on the internet, and get them back into our hometowns and our cities.
Whoever is elected will have to close a multi-billion-dollar shortfall. Democrats and Republicans will choose their candidates in the August primaries before the elections on November 2nd. In New Haven, Kimberly Howard for LocalOnlineNews.tv and CTNewsJunkie.com.